So if you're yoked to an addiction, if you're yoked to drugs, you carry the burden of it, and it's reflected on your face. So the person could be 21 years old, but who's been on drugs for 2 years, and they look like they're 50 going on 65. And then when the glory comes and transforms that person's life, all of a sudden the newness, the youth, the vitality that was hidden under all the stuff, all the corruption, all the destruction, now comes to the surface and is revealed. The intention of the glory is to reveal the person in you that God intended you to be in the first place. Not the dysfunctional wreck that you are, but the person, the gem, the gold that has to be mined for. The diamond that's in the rough and has to be cut and shaped and polished and then put in the right setting. And that miracle can only happen by the glory. So it was brilliant. The Father gave to Jesus the glory. And whenever he spoke to someone, healed someone, spoke to the woman at the well, gave her a sense of identity and dignity that no other man would give her, it transformed her life in such a way that she, overwhelmed by the glory, went back to the city and talked to all the men. And they saw her in a new way. And they were so taken by what they saw, they were compelled to come follow her to see this guy that had such an impact on this woman's life. Because none of them could change her life. They just used her. But this man that she was talking about did something to her. And they recognized this is not the same woman. So they had to go see. The glory of God is the presence and power of God to transform lives, situations, ministries, marriages, businesses. Whatever the glory touches, it immediately begins to disinfect it. Listen, Moses spent 40 days before the Lord. He was in the glory of God. He was in the presence of God. All right? And all he was doing was taking notes. And then he comes down and his face is disappearing. And the light was shining from him. Why? Because whenever you come in contact with the glory, it begins to strip away all of those things that are unlike God to bring forth that which is like God. The glory of an object is its intrinsic value, its worth. Its intrinsic value. And being intrinsic means it's hidden and it must be brought out. It is not readily visible. It is not readily available. It is not readily accessible because there's all this stuff that covers it. So if you take a brass pot, okay, a brass vase, and it has been sitting for a long time, oxidation has set in, and it turns all black and green, all right, you cannot observe its true brilliance. You cannot observe its true value. But when you get the right cloth, it's got to be the right cloth. Because if you have a cloth that's too abrasive, you'll scratch up the pot. If you have a cloth that's too soft, it won't remove the blackness, the dirt, the oxidation, the green color. Are you with me? So you have to have just the right cloth so that you don't damage what you're trying to clean. And when you clean it, all of a sudden the brilliance, the brightness of the brass